And the might is counting on our acceptance and our staying with it, not walking away. And it's unfortunate. So many people, and I hope some may be watching and get this, and I hope I can present it right. So many get burned in church, and it's not their fault, and you can't blame the church. You just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that happens in life. All of a sudden you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then you're in trouble or whatever happens. So if you look at it that way, and then somebody comes along like myself, I'm not perfect, I just have experienced it in myself as well, divine healing. I had going down the road, stuff going on way back in the 90s, and never could get healed. And then finally it's like it went away. It's just like, there it is, you know. And so it started happening to me again. I was coming from work, and I had a dead battery at work, and so I got a jump, and I had a 5-hour drive when I was working out of town to get back home. And on that 5-hour drive, I started experiencing the same things that I had before, and I thought, well, I gotta go to that bathroom, and I can't leave my car running. So I took a chance and hit my first stop, and I went and used the restroom, and everything was all right, and got to come out, and the car started. So that was a miracle in itself. So then coming up to my second stop, I always stop there, I started feeling those symptoms again. And I'm like, well, Lord, you know, what am I going to do? I can't just keep driving, or things will really be bad inside the car here. And also, I can't go inside and risk not being able to start the car, so I guess I'll have to stop and take a chance that my car will be out there when I get done, you know. And so I just asked him, like, Father, you know, take this from me, heal me. You know, I know you can do it, and just talking to God about it. I know you can do it, and I know it can happen. And at the 9 miles, there's a mile marker, such town 9 miles ahead, and there I was, all of a sudden, or actually 12 miles ahead, within 9 miles of the town, all symptoms subside. I did not have to stop. I already had my gas, and I actually made it a whole nother stop that I usually don't even do in town to get food and bring food home. And I call that a miraculous healing from the Lord, because I have not had one symptom since, and that was in 2011 or 2012. So that's just faith, not even knowing about it. I didn't know. I was just talking to God, begging God, please, God, help me. Please, God, help me. And you reach out your hand, and you anchor that faith, knowing that God's already done it. He already did it. He did it on the cross. It's there for you, and it's just that simple. You know what's hard is when you're trying to juggle your own, it's called lasciviousness, because now, you know, Paul talks about it in the Bible that okay, now that we are saved by Christ, the sin debt is removed, but not the sin. The sin nature stays in us. It just lies dormant. Now God left that there so that when we do sin, He's a jealous God. He wants us to go to Him for it. He didn't leave it there for us to sin. So you're going to have the temptations, but you got to know what it is you're going to do when you are tempted. And he provided that way for us to it's not a get out of jail free. It's a way to escape the temptation. He's not going to let you be tempted with more than you can handle. But guess what? We can't handle it, but he can. And he already did. He handled it on the cross. And so that's why it's so important. And I know I keep talking about it, but it's so important that we anchor and place our faith exclusively in the cross of Christ and what he did for us. And if you do that and you practice that, it takes practice. It's a simple action. It does take practice, because we're going to get off on our way. Somebody's going to cut you off the road. All of a sudden, the old sin nature is going to pop up, and you're going to beat your finger out and be pointing at that person, and they're going to look at you and like, wow, look at that crazy guy. I don't even know what he's pointing at. Why is he pointing at me? They don't even know what they did. It's just like you going to that wrong church for so long, or to a church that didn't know the truth and couldn't give you the truth, and now you've walked away from God, or you never got to God because of that. They have no idea, because they don't know. And when you don't know, or you think you know but you don't know, then you're deceived. That's deception. So the only way not to be deceived is, first, know God made a way, and then seek that way, and that is Christ and him crucified for everything, all that has happened to us as the human race, meaning his creation. Nobody is perfect, and we don't use that for an excuse. It's an actual fact. So since nobody's perfect but Jesus Christ, because he was perfect and he paid the penalty, we have to have him as our Savior. And the only way to do it is by faith anchored in what he's done for us at the cross. So, believe it or not, I'm not seeing this stuff come off of here. And I'm just trying to work that off there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if my vinegar and water will help with that. So let's go get the vinegar and water. And I'm just going to see these couple spots here. Like, I think this is old fingerprints of somebody had, like a grease on their hand. Looks just like it. Like they just got through putting on sunscreen or what have you. So I'm going to try the vinegar and water and see about getting that off. Hopefully I'm not boring you. So this is pure vinegar water. And I did have some baking soda in it once. And then when I shoot, look at it spraying out like that, because the baking soda mixed with the vinegar. So I don't know if that actually got it off or not. But let's just give that a good squirt and let that dude sit. Let's see if we can't get those out of there. And I'm going to look up what does clear that off, because this boat, it was hard to see that, and I thought, well, man, my cover had rubbed it now, but the cover was just sitting there. Now chances are this is stained because the cover had something underneath it and I didn't know it, because maybe it wasn't ever used, and then when it got rained on like this, it got bad. It's a little softened up now. She was getting all brittle and crispy. See, it's cracking right there. I don't like that, but the fix is going to be to put a wainscot on it or something, over top of it, like leather. So let's go back to Christ here real quick. If you are in need and you don't know, then all you got to do is believe. He says, only believe. What must I do to be saved? Only believe. Know how you do that? Just simply say, God, I'm a sinner. I messed up. I can't make it without you. I failed, and I want to make it right. I believe Jesus Christ is your son. I believe he died for my sins. I believe he was risen on the third day, and he's seated by you on the left side of you right now on the throne, and he's made a way for me to get to heaven, and my belief in him. And I'm sorry for my sins, and I'm confessing my sins to you, not to a person, but to God through Jesus, that he's taken them away. And as long as I believe that, I am saved. Now, congratulations. Get yourself an Expositor's Study Bible. You can go to jsm.org and browse through the shop tab, and you can find yourself a Expositor's Study Bible. Get a hold of that. They also have some pamphlets there. It says what must I do to be saved, and it'll talk about everything that I hopefully have covered in this video with you, and you'll be able to manage that. And guess what? When it works for you, you're going to want to tell somebody about it. And then you go out and you will tell somebody about it. There was a woman at the well. She really messed up and met Jesus. And Jesus said, give me some water. And he told her, hey, everything that she'd done wrong, if you drink of this water, you'll never thirst again. And sure enough, she, at that moment, got saved, and Jesus ordained her. When we talk about ordination, ordaining people to preach or spread his gospel, she went off back to town and tell her people, look what this man, come see a man. Come see a man.